Yo, what's good, Knicks Nation? Salute! We are back after a nice break. We're back with another KFTV Postgame Live. So you know what it is. Tonight, the Knicks traveled down the I-95 to go face the Philadelphia 76ers at the Wells Fargo Center. And this seemed like an easy one from the jump. You know, the Knicks had a 23-point lead going into the half with great effort from Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, and the rest of the squad. Jalen Brunson, not so much, but hey, it seemed like it was going to be easy sailing. And then, of course, the tides returned because Philadelphia didn't want to go out like no punks. So you saw that Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, and then the masterful guy who decides to be a thorn in the Knicks' butt all the time, Kyle Lowry, decided to get activated and make this game a close one. We saw the 76ers cut this game down to 7 points in the fourth quarter. But fear not, because Jalen Brunson was crafty enough to get to the free throw line to slow down the game and get enough points with Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, and Dante DiVincenzo hitting clutch shots. And in the end, we had the New York Knicks defeating the Sixers 110-96 to end their 4-game losing streak after the break. So we're all good. It's all gravy tonight. So you already know what we got to do. We got to talk about it. Make sure to download Discord. Download the Discord if you haven't done so already, or use the web browser to tap in, because that's the only way we're taking calls tonight. All right, and make sure to support our sponsors, Underdog Fantasy and Manscaped. And look, I'm your host, Alex Trataros. With me on the other side is my guy, Jeff Johnson. Jeff J says, so let's talk about this game and let's get into it. Jeff, man, how you feeling, bro? It was a nice NBA break. We had a terrible All-Star, but hey, we get a Knicks win after the All-Star break. So I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing, man. I'm feeling even better because they were able to pull out that victory. This was becoming an annoying game. Any game that involves Kyle Lowry versus the Knicks gets real annoying real quickly. Knew they were going to make those runs. I wanted to see what the Knicks were made of. And what a difference vacation makes. This game should be the peak example, poster child example for why you should take your PTO if you work a job, why you should take vacation. You come back, you're refreshed, you're relaxed, and you have way more energy than when you burn yourself out by going hard and emptying your tank. You're not as effective, you're not as efficient, you're not as productive. These guys look like they just came off a beach and they were firing on all cylinders. So you could see the level of energy was night and day from those last 5 games. And I was happy that we saw a lot of new things with the rotations. We saw adjustments, and we saw professional basketball players hoop. That's what I like to see from this team. They were able to pick up Jalen when he wasn't having a efficient game, but he was effective when it counted. And yeah, man, there's a lot of people to talk about. A lot of salutes, a lot of flowers to give out. So I'm proud of them tonight for what they did.
For sure, man. Absolutely. And look, I'm looking at Precious Achiuwa. I'm looking at Josh Hart, who had a very strong first half in this game. I'm looking at Bojan Bogdanovic. That was a guy I was calling out on the last post game against the Orlando Magic. Alec Burks did okay tonight, but it was really Bogey, Josh Hart, Dante coming through in the clutch in the second half. And Precious, man, I mean, yeah, Brunson got his 21. It wasn't effective. It wasn't efficient tonight as we normally see, but he got to the free throw line, went 11 from 11 when needed. But when you look at how everybody else played, and I'm looking at the collective as a team, right? And that's why I said on Game of the Week preview, which I did yesterday with my guy John Gonzalez over at CBS Sports Radio, like I said, you know, I don't know which way this game could go, because look, you have the Sixers missing Joel Embiid, right? You're missing an MVP type candidate. The Knicks are riddled with injuries prior going to the break. You had Randall, who's out, OG that's out, Isaiah Hartenstein, who came back today but's dealing with an Achilles issue. There's just so many guys, and as you just go down the list, Dante had a hamstring injury. So I didn't know who was going to come back after the rest to play this game. And all I said was that it needed to be a collective team effort, because I feel confident with Dante out there. He's been putting up great numbers prior to the break, but tonight it was a true team effort. And this is what the Knicks are going to need moving forward on a night-to-night basis if they're going to stay in games. And tonight is just a good one, especially against the 76ers, another Eastern Conference opponent who's in the playoff race right now, 1 through 6. And now you get to create some separation because they're 5, Knicks are 4 right now. So I liked how the Knicks came out with some urgency tonight, how they're able to capitalize in the fourth quarter, because you look at that third quarter, man, and the Sixers just put on a scoring clinic, 35-22, and it was just Maxey going off, Lowry finding right playmaking ability that he's so accustomed to and making some critical
Mhm.
shots. And then Kelly Oubre decided to go on one. And with that type of production from those guys, that's what made it really annoying. This team, I don't count the Sixers out because they are a gritty team and they can be that annoying, like pestering team in the East. And I think Max is going to take it to another level too. But tonight, you got exactly what you needed from the New York Knicks, which is a team collective effort.
100%, man. And look, I think that the Sixers, the biggest move they made was that Kyle Lowry signing, even bigger than Buddy Hield. Because if you look at the game, Kyle Lowry gets the bionic elbow from Jericho Sims.
Mm.
He gets busted wide open. He has to go to the locker room and get stitched up. Knicks go on that run, build a lead at 1.26. This man comes back in the second half in that third quarter, and the mood completely changed. They cared. They put in that effort. They dug in their heels defensively. They got turnovers. They were able to go on their run, which we knew they were going to go on runs. But this was that we're not losing tonight type of run. And this is the type of confidence that Kyle Lowry instills in his teams. It's just that it was Villanova night. It was like Villanova night where all the trademark Villanova isms were happening on both sides. Not to mention the fact that played Kyle Lowry so many times, including in the playoffs, to where he's calling out Knicks plays. He knows the Knicks plays like the back of his hand. This is the type of advantage that can benefit the Sixers down the line if they had their whole squad. But another thing that this shows you is the Knicks, I think you can say now, they've officially replenished their bench to where they have one of the deepest benches in the league. Again, like Alex, I know we're going to talk about a lot of the players and the callers. Definitely get them likes up. I can't see the YouTube, but I know them likes ain't where they supposed to be. Get them likes up, get the comments up, get the super chats in. We got to talk about a lot of stuff because there's a lot of promising things going in the future, but there's one big, excellent problem that they have. If everybody comes back, I don't know who's sitting, but I know who's not sitting. Precious Achua, hey, bro, you can't sit that man. You can't sit that man.
You
You
cannot sit
can't.
Precious at this point. And this is the difficulty as I was talking about with John yesterday on Game of the Week, man, is that it's a good problem to have, a lot of depth. Yet again, last year we were a deep team, right? A young team, but very deep. This year, more veteran savvy, deep team yet again. But then when you think about going into the playoffs and you got to cut it down to an 9-man rotation, and I like 9-man rotations is a bit of a stretch on this team because even last year, whether it was quickly struggling, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, you saw that guys were getting like 9 minutes if you were that ninth man or 10, anything of that nature. But I agree with you, Jeff. Precious, the way he's been balling, and you see the versatility, man. And I hope he plays more of a backup 4 than a backup center. And I mean, it depends on matchups. Obviously, you saw how they were running a lot of 4 guards out there with him at the 5 end because the Sixers don't have a true big outside of Joel Embiid at this point. You're able to do that against a team like this. But the thing I like about Precious, man, is not only the defensive versatility that he has. He's guarding 1 through 5. Obviously, 5 is stretching depending on the matchup. But it's kind of like OG Anunoby in that sense. Not a lockdown defender, but a competent defender as is that is going to cause problems on the defensive end. And then offensively, there's some versatility there, whether it's a floater, the layup, off the dribble, stuff of that nature. And I'm really impressed that Precious is doing all this right now after a slow start, man. I mean, I was roasting this guy against the Memphis Grizzlies, and he's really turned it around. Like I said, I've signed the Precious Achua apology form. I am sorry. I did not know that this is a game. I did not know he had this type of bag. But hey, he is balling right now, man. I like what Precious is doing. But then tonight, I gotta go to Bojan Bogdanovic as well because this is a guy who you bring in to be that knockdown 3-point shooter, and he did that tonight. 6 of 6, 8 of 13 from the field, 22 points. Okay, he was just on one in that second quarter, leading that second unit, and that's the stuff that you want to see. Something from like what we've seen from Burks in the past, but Bojan has taken that level, and I'm just curious moving forward. Is he going to be able to maintain this type of production? Because like we saw earlier, like I know it's a small sample size. I get people are going to push back on that, but role players off the bench, it goes up and down, man. We know that. And I got some pushback in the comments section saying, I'm not sure if Bojan's going to be in this 8-man rotation because you also got Burks here who Tibbs has trusted in the past. And I'm like, if we go 9, is that even possible? Because if you have Dante who's playing at a good level, do you really want to cut his minutes short when he's been a really good two guard? If you get Randall back, it's going to be difficult to get Precious out there for extended minutes. And then you think about if Mitchell Robinson goes back at the center position. It's like there's so many questions, man. This is the issue, is what you said. This is the issue with being a deep team and why you brought it up, because I don't know how you can go to cut this thing to 9, man. Even Deuce McBride, like, even in his limited shot attempts, it's like, all right, the defense that he's giving you, he's improved as a three-point shooter. There's just so much, man. There's just so much talent on this team. It's really insane.
Yeah, this gotta be Tibbs' wildest dream, to have a bunch of dudes who can defend, who are switchable, who play hard, who buy into the system. And he has probably at this point, unlike any other point, has an embarrassment of riches on the court when you talk about all stars, all NBA caliber, veterans who've been there before. Even with Bogey going off for those 19 points in the second quarter, I made the note early on that he's still trying to find his way in the offense. Bogey's like one of those ballers who just gets buckets, but you play and pick up and you get picked up on a squad that you don't really know, but you know what you can do. And you're trying to fit in and he's trying to, like, you see him sometimes flash and ask for the ball, doesn't get it, goes in the corner when he's not really the type of sit in the corner and wait for a shot type of player. And you see he's slowly starting to adapt to the offense and figure out getting where he fit in. That's the same thing OG said when he first started. He was like, yo, I don't know no plays, but I know how to play basketball. So I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to start moving around. Like, he's reacting to what he sees on the court. And you saw it with Bogey. Wally, I think, brought it up on the play-by-play where he called him a zone breaker, because he's able to flash into the middle, flash to the top of the key, can hit that shot, force the defense to collapse, and open it up on the perimeter for other shots. We didn't really have a player like that. We never really played that was as mobile on their feet to be able to break a zone in that way. And he shattered their zone by himself. This is the further embarrassment of riches that we have, where you have a player like Bogey who's been there before, who can carry an offense, and now he's going to play against bench player competition. He has the potential to be able to not only carry a bench offense or have the offense flow through him, but also to spell the starters while they can get much needed rest. Like, the sustainability of this team from 1 through 5 to 5 through whatever Tibbs decides is phenomenal right now. The possibilities are endless. They still got to mesh when they all come back. This is why Tibbs get the big bucks. You don't have to figure it out. But this is the problem. I'd rather have this problem than be on the other side thinking about what two-way players are we going to be able to fit in case of emergency.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about last season, right, where you didn't have any three-point shooting in that second round against the Miami Heat, and this is what you bring in Bogdanovich for, right? That's why you get him. That's why you have Dante DiVincenzo. That's why you even bring back Alec Burks, man. These guys can just knock down shots. And with the ascension of Jalen Brunson being a great shooter at this point, you also have McBride, who can give you something if you decide to bring him in off the bench, because he'll be out of the rotation, unfortunately, with the depth that they have right now. And then you think about, you still have to honor Julius and OG Anunoby, man. It's just insane the amount of shooting on this team. The Knicks at one point, man, we're talking about Wayne Ellington and Reggie Bullock not too long ago about, like, oh, this is our three-point shooters. And now the upgrades that we've made, man, it's insane to see how far the Knicks have come to this point. It's just wild, absolutely wild. But I got to give praise for Josh Hart tonight as well, man, outside of Bogdanovich, just because I felt like this was going to be a Josh Hart game. He was my X factor in the Game of the Week preview, just because they didn't have any bigs. I felt like this was a game where Josh Hart could just get out in transition, score, be that rebounding force that he is, and just facilitate as well in his limited role, man. And I like what I saw from him. He played 44 minutes tonight, 7 of 13, went 2 of 5 from downtown, gets you 12 rebounds, man, 3 assists. And Josh Hart, these are the type of games that you want to see from Josh Hart as you start to get closer to the playoffs, because you want to see that he can start getting into rhythm, right? And this just helps bring that confidence. He's working through a knee injury. He asked for more touches at the beginning of the season, and now he's getting that opportunity. So for him to start getting this groove, I know he's not going to be that 50% three-point shooter that we got last season. I know that that's an anomaly, all right? It was a small sample size, 20 some odd games this is reality, but this is the type of stuff that I do like to see, him being like that free safety on defense and just be a bully, man. I mean, outside of the getting a tech tonight, I thought he played a really great game. So I like what Josh Hart did tonight. He's another reason why he's another guy that, could be a wild card in the playoffs because if you get the physicality and the defense from him and you get some offense, it just takes the Knicks over the top.
Yeah, if he's gonna be a wild card, I need him to be a big joker and not the deuce of clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like he got to be something that's actually relevant, and he did that tonight. Doubled it up, and I like the tech that he took because at some point you could these refs got to hear something, man. Like Brunson, he didn't have a good game offensively. I know all of them times he hit the floor was not a foul, but some of them were. Some of them were. And to see him getting knocked on the floor and then Maxey get the softer calls, and I saw him telling the ref, those are soft calls. Like, call it the same way for my man down there. That's why he got the tech. Call it the same way down there, right? Like, you need that. You need that to keep these refs honest. And then, of course, they went to the other extreme and started calling everything. Like, when they called that offensive foul on Brunson, I was like, all right, y'all. Let's let the players solve this. Let the players win this game on the court. Let them facilitate that. Let's not get all refy with it, right? But the thing with Josh Hart that I liked in his game today was he kept the defense honest because now this is a copycat league. Everybody reads the scouting report, right? Scouting report is saying double team Brunson, let these other dudes beat you. Josh Hart was decisive in his offense. He got the ball on the wing and he made a move. That's what we ask as Knicks fans. Make a move. Be decisive. Quick decisions. Randall has exponentially lifted his offensive game by making quicker decisions. We didn't care about the decision itself. That's step 2. We work on that. But let's get to step 1 where you read the defense and make a quick decision. When he's not hesitant on his three-point shot, when he attacks the defensive and drives and get those paint shots and is able to kick it out, when he's not jumping into no man's land before he passes and he actually knows what he's going to do, he is that effective wild card. He is the big joker that the Knicks need. And these are the Josh Hart games that can carry you over a team, that can stop you from blowing a 26-point lead and keep that stability in your offense and in your whole game in order for you to win.
Talking big joker, my man's ready to play spades tonight. Let's go.
Play spades and not fight. I'm not trying to fight with nobody. Not trying to fight. We're not arguing. We playing a clean game. No talking over the board.
You fighting a lot. I mean, I was going to ask you about Monopoly too, and I see the art that you got right there. You must be fighting in Monopoly on the regular as well.
Fun fact, I don't think I've ever completed a game of Monopoly. I think every game I've ever played, it gets to the point where one person has the most money and 2 hours have gone by and we're like, you know what? We settle. Let's settle out of court. We're gonna sell you our properties and you become a monopoly. You become the monopoly. We'll sell you our properties. We'll become one big conglomerate, lay off all our people, and let's play something else.
All right, now we're getting a little too real. Salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you all for tapping in right now. Salute to everybody. All right, salute to Knicks Nation, man. Thank you for tapping into KFTV Postgame Live. The New York Knicks defeated the Philadelphia 76ers 110-96. We ain't talking about real life right now. We're talking about this. We're talking about sports right now, okay? We don't need none of that right now, Jeff.
Exactly.
All right? Make sure to hit the thumbs up button for your boys. Make sure to share the video. Make sure to link to this video and make sure to tell a friend about the program for this grassroots movement. All right. And shout out to all the franchise channel members. I see Chuck D in here. Throw a hashtag PE. I see Jason Calcanis in here. Shout out to Jason Calcanis. Shout out to Dimitri for being a franchise channel member. Shout out to Eddie Suarez. Let's see who else we got here who's a franchise. Shout out to Frank White, 2614. Shout out to Young Kobe. Shout out to Sansa Stark as well. Shout out to all you who are tapping. Shout out to TM. Shout out to the King Mod himself. All right, we're going to go to the Discord, take some calls right now, and get some of you because we want to know, man. We want to know what you guys are thinking, how you feel about this game, how you feel about this team. Do you think the Knicks are a deep team? We need answers right now. We need answers.
Chuck, get in the Discord, Chuck. Get in the Discord. I know you could use that technology, big bro. Get in the Discord. We need the legends in the Discord. I gotta hear from Chuck D, man. I gotta hear from Chuck D tonight.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, we're going to go with Stilico first. Stilico, my man, what's going on, bro?
I just got to address two things. First of all, Precious. Every time he got a good game, I got to bring it up. We already know that. Moving on to number 2, though. Jeff, I'm riding with you, but you ain't going far enough. We don't have one of the deepest teams in the league. We have the deepest team in the league. When we get everybody back, when we have a full, 12-man bench, right? Where we've got all our players, tell me one guy on that bench that would not at least be a role player on somebody else's team. I really can't, maybe Sims. Maybe. And that's a maybe.
Boston could use
Everybody.
Sims.
Alright. Alright. So, again, my point stands. Everybody on our team would be finding some quality minutes somewhere else in the league. We have that man Perk on ESPN said it the day of the trade deadline. He said they are deeper than the Pacific Ocean. I genuinely cannot remember a time where a team has been this truly loaded at every position, top to bottom. That's all I gotta say, folks. We're getting reinforcements soon. Praise be. See y'all later.
Shout out to
Peace.
Stilico for tapping in, man. Shout out to Stilico for tapping in. We're gonna go to Dan from New Jersey. Dan, what's going on, bro? How are you feeling tonight? Dan from New Jersey. Dan from New Jersey. Call him once.
Dan, you're on mute.
All right.
Do y'all got controls to take people off mute? Or maybe they
No.
need to be on mute because they're doing something right.
Sometimes you gotta mute them, man. Sometimes we gotta mute them because we don't know what they're doing out there. We have people snoring. We have people going off the rails. We don't know what's happening. It seems like Dan's trying to get things worked out. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to none other than Cody Glock. Cody, what's going on, bro? No, Cody. Man. Discord's not working. All right, Cody. Hop back out, jump back in. It doesn't seem like the mic's working. All right. Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, as we get everybody else working and trying to figure this out, something, Jeff, that was discussed yesterday that was floating around the social media was injury reports outside. Like, we know Dante's back. We saw Isaiah Hartenstein back. We see Bogdanovich back. But there's three key guys that we're still in limbo about because we have no idea. All right. We don't know anything. We don't know when Julius will be back. OG or Mitchell Robinson. And so we had some news yesterday about all three of these players. So let's start off with the big dog himself, Julius Randle. So let's hear what Julius had to say because he started off being very optimistic in his comments. So let's go to the he thinks he'll be back by April 1st one, Daniel. Let's play that one first. As we get the video loaded up. So that way we can hear what Julius has to say, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So people going, I was like, I thought a bunch of people were gonna start getting doctoral degrees and whatnot. Where it was talking about it.
Absolutely. Hold on. Hear an echo.
Just kidding. Gotcha. Early. Gotcha. No, I was just taking a day at a time, man. To be honest, every day I'm getting stronger, I'm getting better. So just taking a day at a time, just continue just to try to just stay locked in on what I have to do to continue just to get healthy, not just physically but mentally as well.
So it seems like Julius is in decent spirits. After that one, it seems like he's ready to just taking it day by day, looking to come back this season. That's just how he is. We know even with the ankle injury last year, he always tries to get back on the court and tries to play through injuries because that's just who he is, man. He's a guy that likes to battle through injuries, play for his team, and just show as how great of a competitor he can be when he's out on the court. However, the topic did take not a full term, but he did say that surgery was not out of the question. So Daniel, let's play that one next, and so let's hear what we have to say. What he has to say about that.
I'm never somebody to say never. So ultimately, I have to do what's best for, myself to, have a long career, have longevity in this. But, training staff has been great, getting me back healthy and, feeling better. So it's a progress.
They told you that even if you come back during the season, that
So Julius not ruling out surgery, and he's not. Julius is not ruling out surgery, and he, kind of left it open ended. Like it could happen during the season if things don't progress well. But it seems like everything is based on what he's saying, what Tibbs is saying. What are your thoughts, Jeff? Are you expecting Julius to come back? What is your take on hearing his feelings on his injury status?
He sounds optimistic, and he's somebody who fought through a lot of injuries. I got a lot of respect for him because he fought through that ankle injury last year, didn't make any excuses, had surgery afterwards, and it severely limited him. And I think one thing about Julius is he's strong, he's athletic, and his body is like top tier athletic to where he can recover well from injury. I saw a report from Steve Popper where I think he interviewed a physician that said surgery would be necessary if he re-injured it in rehab. So this part of the rehab now is strengthening the muscles around the ball socket so that it doesn't pop out. We've all had that one friend that has the shoulder that always dislocates, and that's probably because they never got surgery on it to like properly heal it. Because once the bone pops out of the socket, it rips a ring around the socket that the shoulder goes into, and when that socket is ripped, you have to repair it, I believe, with surgery. I am not a doctor. I don't have an MD or PhD. I have a GOOGLE, so I'm able to read all these reports and get them together, right? I think he'll probably have surgery at the end of the season. Like you see, like in the NFL, week 17 comes, in the playoffs, the surgeries are popping. The surgeries are popping. Everybody's getting the end of the year surgery. I think eventually he's going to get it to correct it. This rehab now is to strengthen the shoulder so that he's able to absorb contact and play well enough to where he won't have to worry about it. He'll probably come through with like the tape and some type of harness or something like that to make sure that it stays stable. But I'm not worried, man. Like I know it's natural to be Knicks fan PTSD and doom and gloom and all of that. We can't control this. You can only control what you can control. We can control being fans and supporting and staying up to date with the news. We can't control Julius's body. He's doing the most he can to control how quickly he gets back. He's following the doctor's recommendations. Per every report and per Tibbs himself, he's hit the milestones he's needed. Y'all know he's strong, and unless you rip that arm off, he's gonna be back. He's playing. So unless you rip the arm off, it may alter his bully ball game a little bit to where he might be more left shoulder powered, where he might favor it a little bit and may not want to bang as much as he does on the right shoulder like he usually does. But I don't think it's going to hamper his overall game. He'll just be able to adjust again. So I think next week was when he was supposed to have his next check-in or milestone or whatever. I see if we'll see from there, man. I'm looking at mid-March for OG and potential Randall to come back during that West Coast trip, because that'll be 2 to 3 weeks from now. Think about 3 weeks from now. Yeah, it'll be like 3. We're about to be in March. First of all, next week.
First of all, I wish you'd even
next
say
week is March. Next week is March. So, but 29, 6, 13, 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks we got 3 more weeks for OGs to heal. 3 more weeks for the shoulder to get stronger and for them to get some conditioning. I would aim for that. And then they play Denver and Golden State during that road trip. That's going to be high profile games. I would not be surprised if at the very least OG comes back during that road trip.
I can agree. And we're going to listen to what OG has to say about his injury next. But I think I don't see Randall. You think Randall will join during that West Coast trip? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
So I know you're going to talk about OG later. I'll tell you. I think at the best case, Randall comes back for that West Coast run. I think if you're being cautious, it's when they come back home, the 23rd.
That's where I would go. I think they would be more cautious than go have him travel out West Coast, take those few days, wait for the Knicks to come back home, and that's going to be your first game. I get that it's a high
Absolutely.
profile game, and I feel like that's more reasonable with how this team operates. They want to be on the safer side. They already saw what it was like with, a not I don't even know if it was 60%, 70%. We don't know what percentage it was of Julius that we had last year. We just know that he wasn't healthy. And I think for this, if you have this team right now and you see how open this Eastern Conference is, 2-8, right? I think you got to do everything in your power to put yourself in position to compete because next year is never promised. So I think for them, they're like, hey, let's get Randall as healthy as much as possible. Have him rest. We already know he had enough games. It may take him a little bit to get back into rhythm, and that's going to be the tough balance. What point do you bring him back that it makes sense for this team so that way he gets into rhythm, so that way he can compete, and that way that the Knicks have some fluidity going into that playoff and trying to be competitive, right? Because the last thing you need to do is just insert a player who hasn't had enough time to make some adjustments to his game and figure out how he fits in, where it's really everybody fitting else in around Randall, but there is that balance, right? And so it would be that's the only issue I think the Knicks are trying to figure out is like, do we bring him back if for your let's say the West Coast trip is that timetable, right? Let's just use that as a marker. Do we want to send him out there and have him go through the travel, the not being home and being comfortable? Because that you got to think about like for injuries, you want to at least be comfortable when you're coming back, right? You don't want to now say, hey, I know you've been gone for a little bit. Now we're going to put you on a West Coast trip, which by the end, you're probably exhausted. You're in all these different hotels. You're packing up. You're going. You're doing all these moves. So I think if anything, it would probably be afterwards, and that's how I feel about Randall's return. Hopefully,
they're gonna have to save him from himself because if he had his druthers, he would be back tomorrow.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna see. I agree with you there. That's like wishful pie in the sky thinking. March 23rd, Knicks are back to face the Nets. Then the 25th against the Pistons. Those are definitely two warm-up games because at this point, Brooklyn is an open run, and the Pistons are the Pistons. So if you want to try to get your wind in and get some cardio in and get back in shape, those are the two teams to do it against.
For sure, absolutely. Now, another guy that's coming back from injury is OG Anunoby. So, Daniel, let's go to the OG Anunoby clip and hear what he has to say about his injury because he too is optimistic.
Doctor's orders, follow the medical staff. It's progressing day by day, but I'm feeling better and better. So, yeah, I want to be back as soon as possible for sure.
Have they
Are you optimistic that he'll be back at some point during the season?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully, just follow the doctor's orders, follow the medical staff. It's progressing day by day, but I'm feeling better and better. So, yeah, I want to be back as soon as possible for sure.
have they
So there you have it. OG wants to be back soon. He's hopeful that he will be back soon. And, for him, he had the minor surgery for the elbow. I think his is a little bit more easier to predict to see him coming back during the timetable that you said, Jeff, just because what was it it was the day of the trade deadline. They said 3 weeks. He should be back soon. So we're getting close to closing in on the 3 weeks that he should be returning. So for him, it's probably just comfort, which has always been a thing for OG. Like for all of his injuries, it's just like he wants to make sure that he's 100% when he gets back out on the court to compete at a high level. So whenever he's 100%, which I hope it would be before that West Coast trip, he should be back on the court, which would help immensely. And he's a guy that's interesting to me because he was showing a little bit before he got injured that he did have a little bit of an offensive game. I want to see if he can expand on that, especially while Randall's out, because he will probably be that next to if Bogdanovich can maintain this consistency, right, on offense. It will probably be him. It'll probably be Bogdanovich and OG Anunoby running that second unit when Randall's off the court and whatever mixing and matching you're doing. So I'd like to see him be able to take that lead as being a guy that you can rely on offense.
For sure. And it helps that this was an elbow injury, so he's still able to do some type of physical conditioning and running and doing all of that. There wasn't a lower leg injury like Mitch where you get a little more out of shape because you're not able to do any type of running because your ankles hurt, so you can't run, right? So I think OG, and of course, getting in shape, conditioning, And bodybuilding conditioning and marathon conditioning is completely different from basketball conditioning, because you could be a long distance runner, get on that court, and all that start and stopping and physical activity is going to have you like wheezing, right? Like you're gonna be completely tired out. So he's gonna have to get these games under his belt to get his wind up. And I think the good thing about OG is he's a low usage player, high effective, plays hard on defense, plays smart on offense, knows how to fit into different places on the court, and he's going to be able to seamlessly fit back in. I don't have a problem with that. It's just I've heard it from Toronto fans. This dude just gets random injuries. He's like the guy that will randomly get poked in his eye, and it's like, wow, he's out for a week. You wouldn't have even thought. You wouldn't even thought that would have happened, but it's like he just gets random injuries and whatnot. But I'm glad this happened when it did. He was able to get the surgery, and now that is the dude that I'm like, if he doesn't come back from the road trip, either he's being extremely cautious or I don't know. And I hope it's not the latter.
Yeah, and the thing with OG too, right? It's like there's just some players where you can detest where they're being overly cautious, but when he's when he is one of, if not the best perimeter player, the most switchable defender in the
Right.
NBA, and like a knockdown 3-point shooter, you have to kind of have that leeway where it's like, okay, I get you. We can't really complain because there's no one else that can do what you do. I mean, he guards Jason Tatum really well. It's like I'd rather have you ready for the playoffs if we're going to be going against Boston, who, what it feels like at this point, because Milwaukee just decides to be a catastrophic mess over there, even though they're still a winning team. It just seems like the Celtics are destined to be the team that anybody in the East will have, the honor of playing at this point. But then the last guy that we got to talk about who is working his way back from injury is none other than Mitchell Robinson, and Tom Thibodeau had some words on Mitch's recovery as well. So Daniel, let's go to Tom Thibodeau's discussion on Mitch.
Anything on the court.
It's just a steady progression, like the boot is off, so he can shoot. He's not running and jumping yet, but he can shoot on the court. He can do things like that. He's in the pool. He's on a bike. He's lifting. He's doing all those things. So each week there'll be another step for him to clear, and then the same thing with him. When he's ready, he's ready.
Mitch, is he doing anything on the court?
So there you have it for Mitchell Robinson. He's working his way back. The boot is off. He's doing some exercises. He's not running yet, but he's shooting on the court. So that's good. He's a step closer to returning to action from what it seems like from Tom Thibodeau. I would be thrilled to have Mitchell Robinson back, man, because between him and OG Anunoby, having both those guys on the court, I mean, you could throw an all-defense lineup if you really wanted to. You could throw, like, Mitch, OG, and Precious at this point, and then, have Josh Hart out there because Tibbs is going to. And I don't know who you're scoring on if that's going to be 3-2-5.
Sorry. It's first to 5 wins. If you put out that spot, it's first to 5 wins by ones, because good luck scoring points off of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm fascinated. I'm really intrigued to see what Mitch is going to do when he comes back, because I think he may be the one that has the furthest to go with reintegrating himself into the starting lineup. Captain Mitch.
That's the warden right there.
Yes, sir. He might have because they've changed so much as a team. This is like version 4.0 of the Knicks this season. We haven't even played 60 games yet. And I think he has the game where he can acclimate himself, but bro, you got people from the 5. Precious throwing a point center passes from the top of the key. We got iHeart doing his thing. Like there's different expectations on that 5 spot now. So if this is another Tibbs earn your money situation where You insert him, now you may have to build an infrastructure because he was the system. Before OG got there, he was the defensive system.
Right.
So now you may have to build a team, a lineup around him where you compensate for his lack of offensive versatility by surrounding him with people who can hold him down to where he only needs to do what he has to do. And he'll probably only be capable in the beginning of going like hard for like being able to play as long for 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, knowing Tibbs is probably 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes, right? So he's going to have to figure it out. He's going to have to figure out. What I do have confidence, Alex, is he was in the best shape of his life, playing the best season of his life.
Yeah.
I don't think you lose that. Hopefully he was keeping up his diet and doing all of the extra $1 million athlete stuff to maintain some semblance of what he gained coming into the season. Because if he did that, then it should be quick enough for him to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, we'll see. And 20 minutes for everybody, unless your last name is Toppin, apparently. So hey, that's how Tom Thibodeau likes to roll. But let's get back to the Discord and let's go to none other than Cody Glock, as we just talked about Mitchell Robinson. Look at me making some money as an Obi Toppin guy. Thank you for that, Daniel. Really appreciate it. The Toppin caster, as some may call it. So let's go to Cody Glock right now and see what he has to say. Cody, let's give this another shot. What's going on, man? Oh no! Come on!
Now, come on, Cody. Come on, Cody. We went on a whole Mitch rant, bro.
This is your chance. This is your opportunity, Cody.
Go on a laptop if your phone is messing up. Switch it up. You gotta switch the juju up, man. Switch the juju up. Like, we might need to send some sage to Cody Glock's $1 million estate.
We're gonna send. I'm sure Team's gonna send a Discord tech out there, so we'll send a Discord tech to Cody. We're gonna figure that thing out. Let's go. Let's see if Dan from New Jersey is ready. Dan from New Jersey, are you ready to go?
Que lo que, wah, wah, wah.
There he is. What's going on, bro?
Gentlemen, Jeff, Alex, Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother.
I gotta say a couple of things for y'all. Jeff, I agree with you. I think that when Randall's talking about avoiding surgery, he's talking about rehabbing his shoulder so that, he's getting back to, playing shape before the season ends, before the playoffs start, so we could get a few games under him. And the reason I'm saying that is because one of the most nagging injuries that have like a big potential to make a comeback are shoulder dislocations. Because the thing about shoulder dislocations, the more you have them, the more likely you are to have them. I'm speaking from personal experience. So Randall is he's probably just talking about off-season surgery there. If they were gonna do surgery on it now, especially season-ending surgery, they would have done it a while ago. But listen, man, let me just talk about the team real quick. I think Precious Achiuwa, man, if he started injuring the people on other teams more, I would say that's not Precious Achiuwa, that's Bam Adebayo. He's been good. He's been really good. But let me get off of that. Bojan Bogdanovic looking great. Brunson run for night. It happens. He still went 11 for 11 at the line. You saw that.
Yep.
So very, very grateful that we have a team that is this depleted and can still get on to victory, especially in trap games like these. Because make no mistake, gentlemen, this was the definition of a trap game. I'm gonna let you guys go now. I'm gonna hang up and listen. But love the show, man. Showing y'all love. You guys gotta give KnicksFanTV a like and a thumbs up ASAP.
Appreciate you, Dan. Appreciate you for tapping in. And there, he said,
yes, sir.
He said, Precious, if he would just injured players, do the illegal screens, extend the foot a little further out than normal. He said that man would be Bam Adebayo.
Why y'all got my man looking like Cool Runnings, yo? What is this?
Oh
what is
my God. My man's feeling the rhythm and feeling the rhyme.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Apparently, this is a thing that goes on for play-by-play. Is that Daniel likes to throw on some dreads for everybody who is killing it. So,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I guess
Precious Adebayo is nuts, though. That is pretty nuts. Like, but I get what he's saying, man. And the thing about Brunson, real quick, how Tibbs say you don't got to shoot well to play well. I take that as saying you can be effective without being efficient. And that's what he was. 11-11 from the free throw line, double-digit assists. I think he had 11 assists or 12 assists, right? 12 assists? What do he have? 12 assists. He had 12 assists. He had 11 from free throw line, scored no points in the fourth, but 3 assists. And he low-key was a decoy in that fourth quarter. He low-key was a decoy and allowed his team to pick him up and close out the job. You know, shout out to Dante DiVincenzo, shout out to Hart. Shout out to Tibbs for being able to run that Precious at the 5 lineup with Deuce and Villanova. Like, I didn't think he would be willing to do that, but he adapted to what he saw because the Sixers put out a small lineup, so he was able to counter because Precious has just been beasting on front lines. So I really like that, and I loved him giving Deuce that run in the fourth, knowing that he needed somebody to lock up because Maxey was on his hot ones. He saw a lot of hot wings in front of him tonight, 35 points. I respect Brunson so much for trying to play D. Listen, man, sometimes God gives us too much more than what we can handle, and you got to be able to recognize that and know when you pass that burden off to your brothers and to help you out, man. Because boy, Maxey was going off, and they switched it up. They put hard on him. Deuce had Buddy Hield in Guantanamo. Like, he knew, man, that he could have Deuce out there. Deuce could hit an open shot, but you needed defense in that moment to hold on to the lead and have the rest of the team elevate on offense. And they were able to do it. I love seeing this team as individuals and as a team level up and learn. It's like watching Skynet come to life.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just like it just evolves. It evolves.
Now we're talking about Skynet. Now you're trying to give me nightmares, man. What are you on today? Bringing the economy into this. You're talking about Skynet. We got to worry about robots and AI becoming sentient. Like, what's happening, man?
Don't worry, we got a lifetime, dude. That's for our futures to deal with.
That's for my.
We got to kick the can. We got to kick the can down a few generations.
Oh my God, we're thinking about I Am Robot, or the I Am Robot, whatever that. I can't remember the name. The Will Smith.
iRobot.
Yes. I'm thinking of I Am Legend, putting iRobot.
I mean, Will Smith. I mean, you wasn't wrong.
I wasn't. It's just too many Will Smith movies out there for me to like keep the titles correct. But hey, stop trying to give me nightmares, bro. I don't need that.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I don't need that. But hey, I do like what you said though, because don't need that. But I do like what you said, that Tibbs is giving these guys opportunities to learn, and using McBride to close in the fourth, absolutely big. I do like seeing that, because look, when it gets to the playoffs, things change, man. We know essentially the 6. We know the 6 that are going to be in the playoffs. It is going to be Brunson, Dante, Randall, OG, Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart. I can guarantee that, okay? I can guarantee you that. Whoever else, whether I feel like Mitchell Robinson will be there if he's healthy enough, so that's 7. But after that, to me, it's a toss-up. Whoever's playing well is going to get those minutes. Will Tibbs rely on somebody because he wants them to do well and wants to give them that opportunity? Sure. But as we even saw last season, right, in the playoffs, it's like, all right, we're going to try Josh Hart as a starting 2 guard. That didn't work. We went back to Grimes, and then Grimes had his miraculous, Game 5 stop against Jimmy Butler, and then things kept changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was ever the same. So that's just the one thing I know with Tibbs when it comes to the playoffs. So getting these opportunities for Miles McBride or anybody else is critical. But you know what else is critical?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you what else. Our sponsor, Manscaped, all right? Manscaped is critical. So for all you out there, remember, 2024 is here in full swing, and that means it's time for a New Year's resolution. Check in with our friends at Manscaped. It's never too late to level up your grooming game and keep your brush tamed. Manscaped's new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on confidence this year. Whether you're going for a trim or that clean-shaven look, this trimmer has you covered. Trusted by over 10 million men worldwide, now is your time to get a grip on your grooming with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use our promo code KFTV for 20% off and free shipping. The ball has dropped, but don't drop the ball on your balls. Remember that. Remember that, people. And look, I like Manscaped. No testimonials. It's great. Highly recommend. The entire KFTV team is laced with every Manscaped product. We got the beard hedger. We got the Lawnmower 5.0. We got the handyman. We got all those things. We got all the grooming kits. Look, they give you if you get the best kit. I forget the name of the kit right now. If you get the I forget why is it? It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember it. But you can get boxer briefs. You can get the ball deodorant. You can get you can get the shampoos, the conditioner. You get the lawnmower 5.0 as well. You can get that as well, and you use the promo code KFTV to get 20% off and free shipping. Highly recommend. It's just great.
You talking about the platinum package?
Thank you. The platinum package. Appreciate you, Jeff.
Okay,
there you go.
Gotta get we gotta get this money. I'm trying to come back. Y'all better buy all them damn beer hedgers and trimmers and whatnot. Cause look, man, Busch Gardens, it is an amusement park. It should not be what you would strive to be. You should only go to Busch Gardens for amusement. You shouldn't be out here looking like a woolly mammoth. So get your Manscaped on, man.
Hey man, whether you're into having the Tom Thibodeau down there or maybe you want the Julius Caesar like Julius Randle, whatever you're into, man. I don't want to know. No testimonials, but hey,
zero.
That's why you use Manscaped though. That's why.
Wait, time out. You don't even give is not even trying to be funny. It's only for manscaping. Like you said, the beard. They can't even give testimonials if they do if they're from neck up. You're not taking testimonials.
Why do we need that? Why do we need that, man? Why do I want to see? Because some people have said,
like,
DMs,
yo, I got a clean fade.
DMs, man, be like, hey, this is like, bro, no one needs that. No one needs that. All right, no one needs that.
Okay, I got what you're saying. I'm just saying, I'm like, damn. I can't say my lineup is tight because of Manscaped like that, but I get it. Somebody might hit you and say my lineup is tight because of Manscaped, and then you like, now I got to delete the app.
Exactly, and no one needs none of that. That's why we're saying. It's a catch-all, Jeff. It's a catch-all. No, we don't need anything. We're not going to look. We don't need none of that.
You need the KFTV no testimonials t-shirt. That's the next one. No testimonials.
Exactly. No testimonials. As we have Mr. Don, salute to you for being a franchise channel member, for using the CP with the Manscaped emoji. That's what we're talking about. And speaking about franchise channel members, got to give a shout out to all the people who have dropped a super chat and who have signed up. Shout out to Pro Cannon Gaming. Welcome to the franchise channel membership. He gave us a $5 super chat saying, other than McBride, who is the one most likely to take a hit minute-wise when everyone comes back healthy? I think it's a toss-up between Burks, Bogdanovich. Jericho Sims is going to be out of the rotation. So maybe even Precious, man. I have no idea. It is tough. It is tough. So it could go in any of those directions. But I guess if I had to rank it, it'd definitely be McBride. I would say Precious after that, unfortunately. Probably. See, this is where it gets tough because who's shooting well? Is it Burks or is it Bogdanovich? But I feel like I'm going to put Burks as 4 and Bogdanovich as 3 because Burks has been here. Tibbs has trusted him to be the point guard. He knows the defensive. He understands. Tibbs trusts the guy so much. He said, you know what? I want that guy back from Detroit. So I feel like he's going to give Burks some slack. Unless Bogdanovich is shooting the lights out like he did tonight, then he would surpass Burks.
I mean, Burks didn't really get too much run this game. So I feel like because Tibbs has more options, he may be more willing. He played 13 minutes tonight for Alec Burks. So he may be more willing to use Burks sparingly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know what Alec Burks is? Because I heard all the talk. I've been hearing the talk for weeks, even when CP manifested Burks on the team and everybody was like, no, we don't want him here. And then
isn't that interesting how KFTV has taken over the world so much where CP is just like, I want Burks back. Burks hype, he will be back one day. All this. And it is CP has now worked his way from getting into commercials to doing all this stuff. You have Julius Randle apologizing on the KFTV IG page. Now we have the front office saying, you know what? I like what this guy has to say. We're going to go back out and go get Alec Burks.
Hey, man, you can't spell CAA without Casey. You can't spell Casey without CAA. Ooh. Who knows? Who knows, bro? Who knows? But yeah, man, first of all, I would say that Sims, I'm going to put some respect on Sims' name just to say that he would be the first one out. Like Sims would be the one that gets the minutes cut and then McBride. But yeah, man, Burks. You know what Burks is like? And I couldn't even, I had to shoot him some bail for this first couple of games because Knicks fans was complaining that didn't have any bench scoring. Then this man comes in firing, and you're like, no, not like that, not like that. We didn't want you to go off like that. It's because Burks needs to be used sparingly. He needs to be used effectively in smaller amount of minutes. He's like the cursed object in a Final Fantasy game, right? You use it, and it's highly effective, but it's also taking health from you. So you got to figure out a way to uncurse it in order for you to use it to its maximum potential. And the way to uncurse Alec Burks is to not give him 30 plus minutes or not put him in a position where he needs to shoot and needs to be the primary option. And he's the only hope. He cannot be the only hope. And I think in this role that he's in now, you got a preview of it with him running with Brunson and getting those passes, hitting those threes. That's the most effective Burks can be. I actually like Bogey in the Burks 2021 role. Like how we were relying on Burks. I'd rather Bogey in that role than Burks, than this version of Burks.
I can get with that, especially how he shot tonight. But that's what Burks would do too. You know what I mean? Burks would just go off like this. And you'd be like, oh, look at Burks. He's like so great, all this. And the next thing you know, he gives you a clunker. But we shall see, man. There's more basketball to be played. So we'll see which guy will earn Tom Thibodeau's trust. But hey, let's get back to the Discord, man. We got Lex from the BX on the line. Lex, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's good, Alex? What's good, JJ? Hey, man, just calling in to shout out. You know, great victory, no matter what. You know, Brunson, you know, he did his thing. Even though he wasn't playing well, he did play well. You know, they had to put him back into the fourth quarter, bringing the whole crew back in. You know, they locked the win down. You know, it's been great. And when everybody come back, yo, we're going to take the title, man. We need Randall. Remember, Randall, he's tough, man. He's the only person that is a free agent back in the day that wanted to come to the Knicks when the other two didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? They started building it from that time. Tibbs gave him that, you know, his wings to fly, and he took it on. You know what I'm saying? I love Randall. He wanted to come here. And so did Jalen. And he brought all his boys over. We looking good, B. You know, I just want to shout out everybody on Discord, to you guys, the CP, the franchise. Yo, best show. Knicks, you know, best show on the Knicks, yo. Shout out to my younger brother. It's his birthday. That's all I wanted to say, man. Hey, great show. Thank you for letting me on, man. Peace and blessings to all.
What's your brother's name? What's your brother's name?
Yeah, what's your brother's name?
John Carlos. It's his birthday, bro. Yo, thank you so much for, you know, you guys give him a shout out. We love the Knicks. We're supposed to go March 10th. They're playing over there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yo, it's great, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. So, yo, like I said, best show,
Appreciate
man.
You, man. Appreciate
you, man.
Happy birthday,
Giancarlo. Happy birthday, man. Thanks, man. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, JJ. CP the franchise. I know you out there listening, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for.
Appreciate you for calling in, Lex. Appreciate you, man. And shout out to your bro, Giancarlo, for a happy birthday to him, my man. Happy birthday to him. And salute to supporting the channel, man. We appreciate all of our supporters, man. You're the guy. You're the reason why this show keeps going, why we keep growing. So that's why we do what we do. Give back to Knicks Nation. Everything that we do on this channel is to give back because you guys give to the platform, and we're so thankful for that. So shout out to all of you. Let's get to the next caller. Let's see who we got here. Oh, we got Carlo. Carlo, what's going on, Carlo? What's happening? Carlo, going once. Going twice. Carlo, are you there? SOS. Smoke signals, anything. All right. We'll put Carlo back on hold. Let's go to Cody Glock. Let's see if we can get this working this time. Cody, are you there?
Shout out Manscaped, man.
Oh, we got him back. Here he is. What's up, Cody?
Average zero turnovers because of Manscaped. Take care of the ball profusely with the utmost friction in my mixing. Yo, Discord is whooping my tail, bro. Like, Discord is really like, you feel me, uppercutting me, man. You feel me, ducking the jab and all of that, sweeping. Like, I don't know. But, yo, let's talk Knicks, man. All-Star break, you know, everybody got their legs under them. I think Jalen Brunson got a little bit of All-Star game legs. I mean, I don't know what was going on with him tonight, but we good, man, because we got the white boy shooters, man. Yo, listen up, man. One of my dreams for the Knicks since Steve Novak was here was to have a nice white boy shooter, dependable white boy shooter that you pass him the ball, and when he shoots the ball, you feel good about it in the air. We got two. We got two white boy shooters. We got Dante LaDontali and we got Bo Dega. He's here. He got his reps. He's here. What you want to do, B? Yo, listen, man. Yo, Precious, Tibbs got to find a way to put this guy in the lineup and make him stay there, bro, because he proved to me during this run that he deserves to be a part of a playoff run lineup, man. Mix it up, do his thing, man. And the last thing I want to say, man, the Knicks is like Cell from Dragon Ball Z, man. You remember when Cell first came, he was ugly, he was looking stupid. That was them with RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly still in the floor. They was doing their thing a little bit, but, that wasn't what they wanted to do. Then, you got fat, big, stupid looking Cell, and that's them losing a little bit with RJ, but figuring it out. And then you got the Cell. He gets a little slimmer, a little more vicious, And that's when they traded for OG Anunoby. You feel me? Going crazy in the place. And yo, you do not want to see Knicks as perfect Cell with everybody on the floor. Let me tell you something about Michelle and Snow Sneezy. When they come back to their thing, they gonna complete perfect Cell, and it's going to be jail. Guess who's going to jail tonight? Yo, shout out Nikki Pipes, man. Shout out CP Free Throws, man. Shout out Discord Jesus, you feel me? Shout out Jeff, shout out your Illmatic Miles Morales picture you got. That is fire. That is fire. Hashtag P in the chat. I see you, Chuck D. You already know, man. I'm out, man. Mitchie Communist, man.
Shout out to Cody Guac for calling in. Man, you going off, man. You said the RJ Barrett IQ team was looking like ugly Cell. Sheesh.
He fat shamed Cell. He fat shamed Cell. That's crazy.
Yo, like, what? That's crazy. Wild. I thought you could have gone the Majin Buu route for all I know. You could be like fat Majin Buu and then got all that way. But no, he decided to go Cell. Like, sheesh.
Exactly.
Man. I thought you would go with the indestructible force that is Majin Buu.
I know.
That's where I would have gone though. But that's just me, man. That's just me. But as we sidetrack to anime and nerd culture, let's keep this thing back on track, and let's go and see if Carlo's here. Carlo, are you there? Checking in again. Carlo, going once, twice, third time. No.
Hello.
Yeah, there he is. There's Carlo. There he is. Okay, let's go. What's going on, Carlo?
At the buzzer.
Kamusta, Jeff and Alex? I'd like to share my medical thoughts on Julius Randle's injury.
Sure.
I'm a doctor for 14 years, and if I were to put my hands on Julius' medical history, I believe he might not need surgery. I hope I'm right, and the reason for that is that Hill-Sachs Bankart deformities were not mentioned on X-rays on MRI. It means there are no bone structural damage. In layman's term, these are subtle fractures, deformities in the ball and socket, and once you have it, there are tendencies that you might dislocate the arm again. Since these deformities can make the humeral head or the ball easily slides out. I don't know the details of Julius' medical chart, so I hope my guess is right. So great win, rapid fire. Cavs lost today.
Carlo, you're a doctor? Hold on one second.
What?
You're a doctor?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
for 14 years.
Nice. Well, congratulations for being a doctor for 14 years. And we got two, I guess, official doctors. We got Dan from New Jersey, who's on his track to becoming a doctor. And then we got Carl, who is a doctor, a current doctor. There we go, man. We're getting some medical updates over here through KFTV. You can't find this anywhere else, my man. You cannot find this anywhere else. Appreciate the insight.
Doctors on speed dial.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
I like the poster, by the way, the Miles Morales. I'm still looking for my Ultimate Fallout number 4 for my comic book. I still can't find it.
Oh, man. Well, you better find it because it costs a lot of money now. So you better find it.
Yeah. Thanks, by the way. Thanks for accepting my call. Thank you.
Thank
No doubt,
you.
Carl. A good one. Thank you for calling in as always. All right. Carl giving us some medical updates. Look at this, man. Where
like
else can
that.
you find this? Holy cow. He's giving us medical updates about Julius Randle and
I knew he was real because he was using all them Latin words. I was like, oh man, we going deep. Like femurs and metatarsals and all of that. I was like, oh, okay, all right. I don't know if you lied to us, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna have to hit the Google machine and see what's going on.
my man
For real.
was succinct to the point and knew exactly what he was talking about. I'm like, you know what? I'm sold, man. I believe you. I feel much better now about this injury for Julius Randle. And now I guess I'm going to take this. I'm going to make a turn on this because it seems like they're being vague for all three players, right? Between OG, Mitch, and Randle. And I believe there's a little bit of a gamesmanship here so that, the East can still be unsettled. Like, all right, when do we have to prepare for? Like, because I feel like teams can be like, well, let's rack up games now, or we can coast for now, or vice versa. And I feel like not having a timetable back on when these guys return plays to an advantage for the Knicks. What do you think about
that? I think that can be partially true. The reality is, if you're trying to get a top 6 spot, you don't need to look at the Knicks to be motivated. You better win. You better win because at this point, a one bad week could knock you down 3 or 4 spots. That's how jam-packed and compact and dense the Eastern Conference is right now. I do think there could be cautious optimism to where they don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but at the same time, the Knicks don't necessarily volunteer this type of information. So you get it when you get it. Right? You get the info when you get it. The players told you what it was. And that's really what it is with any of this. Like I could have had OG's thing and said, I'm trying to be back in 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks, something happens and it's a setback. We've seen setbacks before in sports, and we've seen people ahead of schedule. I think for the most part, any team that faces the Knicks right now without those 3 players need to get the wins while they can. Because when they come back together, the league is officially on notice. The clock officially starts. The best thing for the rest of the league would be for the Knicks to hold these guys out until April so that they only have a few games to mesh and to get their win before the playoffs so that if you face them in the first round, you can try to catch them off guard and get them out of there quickly, right? Like that's really the best case scenario other than them not coming back at all. That's the best case scenario for the rest of the league. You start getting people back mid-March, integrating them in, and they're fully ready to go, and they're fully integrated, and they're fully coalesced as a team by the playoffs. Now you have a problem in the East. You have a problem, and all of this positioning that's going on right now is without the knowledge of whether these guys are going to be back at 100%. So this is a big gamble. This is a FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever. This is one of them plus 40,000 parlays that they're playing with the Knicks right now. And you know what happens? The house wins more often than not. So they looking to lose their rent money trying to match up with the Knicks right now. If this team can come back together full strength.
For sure. Absolutely. And that's a really good point, right? Because maybe you say, hey, I want the Knicks as like that first round because who knows what they're going to be. So that's a gamble, though. It never works out, though, for any team that's like, oh, let me lose a couple games because this is the matchup that works for me. It never works out for any team that does that. So I hope some team is stupid enough to try that with the Knicks. So because if that's the case, then the good juju's got to be on our side, right? Everyone comes back healthy and we're ready to roll. So let's see how that plays out. But shout out to Rumo21 for the $10 super chat. He says, I can't wait to see all the pieces together. We are deeper and more talented than the Celtics. If Tibbs can get everyone to compete like this, we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe the NBA Finals. So you have Rumo, who is hyped for this team, man. He can't wait for everyone for it to be back and healthy. We got Ward Steven Stone. Shout out to you for being a franchise channel member for 2 months. He said, we got the better Villanova on our team. That's a fact. And then shout out to Sheldon Blackman for the $5 super chat. It's a good problem to have. It means we have good depth. Shout out to Alex and shout out to Jeff Johnson. Let's go Knicks. Shout out to you, Sheldon. Appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate the $5 super chat. But you know we got to get to, Jeff? We got to get to By the Numbers, which is presented by Underdog Fantasy. So, Daniel, if you could pull up that graphic, let's get to it. You know, Knicks obviously won 110-96 tonight, but here's some of the key statistics where the Knicks actually won while battling the Philadelphia 76ers. When it came to the rebounding battle, Knicks won 53-45. When it came to the assists, Knicks slightly won that one too, 24-23. But here's where it really took a good turn for the Knicks. They shot better than the 76ers. They shot 48% from the field to the 44% by the Sixers. 44% from three, which is just super impressive. Thank you, Bogdanovich, for just shooting the lights out tonight, compared to the Sixers' 34.5%. And the free throw line, not necessarily great, but it was good enough for Jalen Brunson, who went 11 for 11 tonight. Knicks shot 70.4% from the free throw line, compared to the 76ers' 85.7%. But then the Knicks decided to go on and defeat the Sixers in second chance points. This is just number one category. Prior to the trade for OG Anunoby, and even afterwards, the New York Knicks are just number one when it comes to getting second chance opportunities, and they beat the Sixers 19-12. Fast break points 19-18, just narrowly defeated the Sixers there. But points in the paint, man, when you don't have a solid rim protector like Mitchell Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein out there, this is their weakness. So the Sixers were able to win 54-40. Those are some of the key stats for tonight's game, man. What did you take away from this matchup?
I liked the fact that they were able to get 23 points off of turnovers. Unless I'm reading that wrong. I look at the stat sheet sometimes and it'd be confusing sometimes. It's like who got the points off the turnovers. I believe it was them that had the 23 points, or was it 14? But either way, I'll say I apologize for that. I always get that confused. I like the fact that they were getting points in transition, and although there wasn't a big gap, this is the type of pressure they need to put on teams that are trying to load up against Jalen Brunson while they don't have their other big hitters there. You get out in transition, and Tibbs has been pushing them to push the ball every time they get a rebound, to rebound and go. Put some pressure, generate an open three, or attack the basket. These are the things that they need to do. I also think it's great that they were able to hold the 76ers below their three-point attempts, their average three-point attempts. They usually average around 32. They took 29, and this is a team that got Buddy Hield. And now Maxey is there, so he can go off as being the number one option with Embiid out. So I think that was something that was really important. I believe the Sixers had more paint points, and I heard on the broadcast they were talking about, well, the big man wasn't really in there and blah, blah, blah. That's why the Sixers, it seemed like they scored more. And I'm like, well, Maxey, Oubre, little bit of what's my man, Tobias Harris, a little bit of Lowry. They were type living in the paint. And Maxey had the easy pass. He had the easy pass. He was I-9-5ing it down that court the whole night. And it wasn't until the fourth quarter where, ironically enough, they honed in on him and did what they were doing to Brunson to Maxey, and they got the result that they wanted. So I think all in all, the Knicks hitting 15 threes, their percentage from the field, it was a defensive struggle down the end, but I think them getting those second chance points, holding the Sixers under their three-point attempts, and only hitting 10 three-pointers, and also the Knicks at the line. They missed a few, but overall, you could thank Jalen Brunson for that free throw, those 11 of those 19 free throws. So you got to get, especially without Randall, you got to get easy points wherever you can.
For sure. And shout out to the 76ers for fouling the living daylights out of the Knicks, too. I mean, that's a big thing. The Sixers just were, as Clyde would say, actually, I won't say what Clyde would say because that's a big pause moment. So I'll leave it off the air. But you know what? You see, the Sixers just had 23 fouls to the 13. So, look, thank you for the Sixers for sending everybody to the line. We really appreciate it, especially one Jalen Brunson. As Clyde would say, they were using their hands and not their feet on defense. So, hey, that's going to help the Knicks when they can get to the free throw line, especially when they can knock down their shots. So that is By the Numbers, presented by Underdog Fantasy. And to everyone out there, make sure to support our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code KFTV to get up to a $100 match. Look, it's a fun, easy app to use if you like doing drafts, if you like doing pick'ems. Underdog gives you both those options. For tonight, I made my pick'em selections, and the cool thing about Underdog is that you can choose any sport, NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL. It could be anything, even soccer, and you can mix and match all the sports as well. And the cool thing is that with the mixing and matching, all you have to do is choose higher or lower for any statistical category that give you points to choose from, right? So it could be like Jalen Brunson tonight had 2.5 3-pointers, which was a spicy one I decided to take. And I chose higher on that because you know what? I had a good feeling that Brunson was going to shoot more, hit some of the threes. Unfortunately, he didn't. He went 0 for 4. So, well, that's the bad luck, unfortunately, without Julius Randle here to create that space for Brunson. But hey, I felt confident. But this is why it's fun to play Underdog Fantasy, because if you know basketball, if you know your team, you get to choose these games. And here we go. This is the selection that I made for tonight. Let's see how I did, actually. I haven't had a chance to check to see how I did tonight. And I am, let's see, results. Not too great, man. Not too great, Jeff. Not too great. Tonight's not my night. And this is why you got to choose sometimes the insured, because you feel like you got a chance. Haven't been on a hot streak yet, man. Haven't been on one, but I know it's coming soon. So I chose Jalen Brunson for higher than 2.5 3-pointers made. 0 tonight. It was a spicy
That's been
one.
concerning, bro.
It's a little concerning for sure because he hasn't been shooting the 3-ball well. But I felt like after the break, a few days coming from All-Star, he did so well in the 3-point competition. I felt like, hey, maybe that will translate to the first game after the break. Absolutely not. I then chose Kelly Oubre because he was knocking down threes against the Knicks the last time. I chose him another spicy one, higher than 1.5 3-pointers made. So he just needed to make 2. He made 0 tonight. So poor outing for me from there. I then chose Dante DiVincenzo because he's usually been the second scoring option on this team to get higher than 19.5 points. He only got 16, so I missed there. But I did hit on Maxey getting higher than 6 first quarter points and Josh Hart getting higher than 8 rebounds. So not my night, but don't worry. It could be your night, people, for everyone out there. So make sure to download the app Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code KFTV to get up to a $100 match. And it's just fun, man. Even if it's not basketball, any other sport, make sure to tap in.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get back to the Discord, Jeff. Let's get back to Discord. We're close to wrapping up the show. We got the Knowledgeist on the line. The Knowledgeist, what's going on, man?
How's it going, y'all? You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're doing well. What's going on?
Good, man. I'm good. First time caller. Recent started listening to y'all. So I just want to say thanks for all you do. It's a great show.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I guess the points I want to make are probably been said before, but I think Deuce gave us some really solid minutes, man. Like he didn't get to shine so much, hasn't gotten the chance to shine so much on this season, and I felt like Thibodeau gave him some respect, let him get loose out there for a while, and that was great. And yeah, Boyan as well in the second. I was kind of upset that he didn't get any more run later in the game to try to get hot again, but that was a really nice thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
And just like everyone else has been saying, cannot wait till the team is in full strength and show everyone what we can do, because it's going to be scary. I think it's going to be great.
For sure. Appreciate the call. What's your name, man? I know you go by the Knowledge. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Daniel. I'm in Bushwick.
Bushwick. Appreciate you for calling in, Daniel. Daniel from Bushwick. Appreciate you for calling in. Have a good one. There you go, man. Just like everybody else, man. He's can't wait for this team to get back healthy. He liked the McBride minutes. He liked what Bogdanovich had to do tonight, man. So team looked good after having a nice little break. Let's see if they can continue, man. They got a tough challenge this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Boston Celtics, they're just cruising at this point. And man, I wish the team was fully healthy, because I would like to see a fully healthy Knicks team go against the Celtics, because I feel like fully healthy Knicks team. I do not like seeing this guy. Yeah, we get it. We get it already, ESPN. We already get it. Look, I just feel like a healthy Knicks team. I just want to see OG Anunoby defend Jason Tatum. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I live out here. I love going to those games. I'll tell you this: that last year, Josh Hart guarding Jason Tatum, that man shot more threes than trying to attack the rim, because he did not want to deal with the physicality that Josh Hart brings. I want to see what it looks like with OG Anunoby out there. That man will deter Jason Tatum from going to the rim. And that if that's the guy that you got to rely on, I have a lot of confidence in the Knicks with OG Anunoby out there, a fully healthy OG Anunoby. So I just wish the Knicks were healthy for that matchup.
You and me both, bro. You and me both.
But hey, you know what we got, Jeff? We got a great guy to close out the show today. We got a great guy. We got a phenomenal closer. We got none other than the legend himself, the rhyme animal himself, Chuck D on the line. Chuck, what's going on?
I'm only good if I'm good on the Discord. So greetings, Trat, and also Jeff. You sound like a young LL Cool J when my eyes are closed with your delivery.
Wow. That's crazy. I never heard that before. That's a super compliment. Thank you so much.
Yeah. There's a bunch of OGs out there probably out there saying yup. But anyway, man, I I'm worried right about now, and I don't need to be. I of course I like what I see, but now we have what you call the dirty dozen, and I just think that at this point it's all for Tibbs to lose, and Tibbs' success, if we look at his past, it's come through attrition. But here you got a situation where everything is up. Everybody's kind of hyped about what's gonna come, and we know that we have enemies out there. You know, Cleveland is chomping at the bit, trying to thinking to get back us, as well as the Pacers, as well as the damn Heat, and so we know we got enemies out there. So really, the deal is no bum games, no bum games from here on to the end. We America's underdog team now, for better or worse. But we have this conundrum. And I'm gonna name it right here. We got Mitchie coming back. We got JB. We got Ragu. We got iHeart, right? We got OG. We got Julius if he comes back. Then we got, Josh, Bogey, Burks, and then we have Deuce and Sims and have to make a decision there. And it just, it's up to Tibbs. We know he ain't Taylor Jenkins. And we know he has a tendency to run, forget a rotation 8. He might have a rotation 6. So what does that do when we face adversity? And I'm not talking injury, because the injury thing seems to work. It's the next man up. So that's why you prep and get your guys ready, because the next man up, especially through this process, will seem to work. But if it's not the next man up, how does that work out? Tonight, the Nova Bacchus came through. JB and everybody was just a little overzealous and happy first day back. And now we getting doctors calling, especially coincidentally. We play the Sixers on Dr. J's birthday. We got scientists, engineers, lawyers, agents, all calling up on KFTV. So salutes out to Trat and Jeff for holding it down. That's not a rapid fire, but I don't think you got the push button to the music tonight, Trat. So
I do not, but we would never do that to you, Chuck. We would never do that to you.
Oh, I'm not special. I just hope that if we get to 40 and 24, right? And I think we are 50 and 32 team, and I'm not just picking numbers to be numbers. No matter who we play, first game ones are very important. And how we gel together in March will set the precedent for April. And this playoffs is probably going to be the wildest NBA season we've seen in some years. This will make up for the trash All-Star game weekend and all that other stuff. But when it comes down to this year's play-in and in the playoffs, we're going to be in a wild tornado of hatred. I can't put it any other way. We see so many bandwagoners come. I don't want ESPN to love us. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to just sort through that. Salute the Knicks Nation. Salute out to Cody. I never step on Mitchie's toes, because he's going to come back. He's going to be a factor. We got 12 dogs. 12 dogs. The final line is, can Tibbs cook 12 dogs? I'm out. Salute.
Salute to Chuck D for calling in, man. Throw a hashtag PE in the chat. Salute to Chuck, man. That was a phenomenal call. And look, Chuck gave some great points, man. Will Tom Thibodeau be ready? That's the question, man. I even had that on the show last night with my guy John Gonzalez, right? It's like how will Tibbs manage these minutes going into the playoffs? This is going to be crazy, man. there's always positives and negatives from having a deep team, right? It's like you got so much talent, but sometimes when you have too much talent, it's like it's too
I'd
much to
rather
handle.
have too much than not enough, though, bro.
I agree.
That's a good problem to have. It's a problem, but it's still a great problem to have. And you know what? I'll say it. I trust Tibbs. I trust Tibbs to make the right decision. He knows this team. I think he can be as precise situationally as he needs to now. Before he was making you know what, he was making sugar out of you know what, right? So now you have the ingredients. You have the ingredients. It's literally a puzzle that you can continue to evolve and update in real time. So if you need scoring from a wing position, you could put in you could slide over OG if you want. You could keep Devo in. You can play Bogey if you really want to get crazy with it. You could play Bogey at the 2 or the 3 and Bogey and Burks if you need desperation scoring. If you want to put defenses into some type of devil's deal bargain, you can throw Bogey in one corner, OG in the other, Devo on one wing, and Randall and Brunson, or Brunson and whoever the fifth is, and play defense. It's either if you double me, somebody's hitting a high percentage shot. That's as spaced of the court as you're gonna get with that type of 5. There's so many different ways. He can throw out the Baltimore Ravens defense, and you just won't score for the next 6 minutes if we need to cool you off, right? That's like that's the new dealer. That's the new dealer lineup, the Vegas new dealer lineup. When y'all killing them in blackjack, and then they call for the lefty, and they send it in, and he or she just goes off like 3 straight blackjacks, 6 card 21, and you just and here's a tip for y'all in the casino: you stand up, you give them props, and you get off that table and go somewhere else because your money's gone. When the reliever comes in and they go on a heater, you got to get out of there. So these are the type of lineups that he could play, and I have faith that this is the moment that this man has dedicated his life for. These are the moments, and he's as prepped as anyone. So I think the preparation will bear great fruit. At least I think so. Like logically, I have to think so. I hope he gets everybody else so he can prove that.
I hope so too, man. And shout out to Chuck in the chat. He said, "I trust Tibbs too, but ouch, LOL." But
gotta put some faith somewhere, man, for real.
But see, like as Daniel is showing, is the calculation that Tibbs will have to do, and I'm like, I think if there's one thing I will say that I feel like Tibbs has a weakness for, it's the reading of the game to the sense of like which player has it going, like how do you play on the emotions of like that player who's like feeling it. I go back to that Austin Rivers game where like he pulled him out when he was just on a heater against Utah. I think about moments even with Cam, even though we're not talking about Cam as some superstar, but just even for a role player, right? It's just knowing when your role players are rolling and knowing when to roll with them. And I feel like those are times where Tibbs could be better at that. And yes, from the X's and O's standpoint, from the strategic standpoint, from doing the scouting report, I can check all those boxes. No person is perfect. I get that. He's done a great job through and through. But if there's anything, that's where it comes down to where it's like, will he read the game in the right moment? Will he be quick enough in saying, it's like when I think about Steve Kerr in his first year coaching for the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green's not giving you enough. Who do you go to? You go to David Lee. He gives you that passing, that shooting that you needed. That now, it just opens up the game a little bit more for Steph and Clay, and now things start to roll in your favor against the Cavs. Even though the Cavs were a shorthanded team, it was still a battle before you put David Lee out there. And that's the type of stuff that I want to see Tibbs do, because to trust a guy on the bench that hasn't been playing through most of the series and then throw them in there, that's a feel for the game that takes time. And I hope that Tibbs has when it comes to playoffs, because when you have a deep bench like this, you're going to need that.
Exactly.
You're going to need that type of savviness when it gets to that type of game. But Jeff, appreciate you as always, man. Appreciate you always for hopping on and doing another show, man. Let the people know where they can find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, man. Jeff J says all social media, Twitter. I don't call it X, it's Twitter. Mama named it Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter, Instagram, and also on YouTube. Jeff J says YouTube channel. You like sports, you like culture, you like betting, you like commentary, you like all four. You'll love what we're doing over there. So definitely tap in with us. We talk NBA, we talking sports betting, we talk Knicks. We're talking everything right now, man, and getting all our pop culture in one place too. So definitely check us out. We got some good things going on building this channel. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be like Knicks Fan TV one day. You know what I mean? There's no testimonials. We just building up. But yeah, man, that if you like what I do here, I do the same thing across YouTube and on social media. So I think I'm a pretty good follow if you into sports and a lot of stuff. So definitely tap in with me.
Make sure to support Jeff, man. Make sure to go give my guy his follow. Give him the follow that he deserves, man. Man's putting in the work. Great content as always. Jeff, once again, appreciate you for joining me tonight.
Yes, sir. Alex, I think there's some super chats too. I don't know if you
oh yeah, I got some.
Okay,
don't worry, man. Don't worry. I'm not just cutting it off. I can't be that type of guy. Okay, I've learned. Okay, it takes time. It takes repetitions. All right, it's not overnight process. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Rome wasn't built in a day. All right,
Never.
We got some super chats that we got to go through. Just only 2 more. But salute to Knicks Nation for all of you for tuning in today, okay? Appreciate all of you. Shout out to all the franchise channel members. Shout out to all the mods. Look, I see John Talento up in here. I see JJ in here. I see J. Cole. I see, let's see, we got Knicks Primes in here. Shout out to Chuck D again. Shout out to Mil Pektovich. Shout out to my guy TM. Shout out to Jose Morales. I know you're always in here. Shout out to KG7 Full as well. Shout out to Eric L. Beats. Appreciate you for always tapping in, my guy. Shout out to Lowell B. Shout out to Two Lifted. All right, now let's get to these super chats. Shout out to G5 Weez. He's always in here, man. Shout out for the super chat. And the mod, the King mod himself, who's a franchise channel member for the last 13 months. It's over a year at this point. Wow. My guy TM says Jeff is finally not just the Memphis game guy.
We broke the curse. We broke the curse.
We've not only broken the curse. You're here for a win. You're here for a win. Look at that.
No, I think I'm 3-0. I think I'm 3-0, bro.
Hold on one second. You can't.
Memphis, we swept Memphis and this one.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking those. You're right. 3-0. Oh my God. We got to. Okay. Maybe you are. Maybe you
need the win. You need the win. Just call the righty, bro.
There we go. Maybe you're the ace, man. You're the ace that we need. Maybe you're the Garrett Cole that we've been looking for. But TM also said, hashtag let Alex host. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. And appreciate you all the Knicks Nation once again for tuning in, all right? And so, we got Jeff who's 3-0. We had CK, 2K do a phenomenal job on the play-by-play. I don't even know what his record is right now. That man's stacking wins, okay? He's stacking wins just like Jalen Brunson says. 9-4. There we go. This is why we got a team, man. Producer Daniel he's ready, man. CK 2K 9-4. What is this? This team is rolling, man. KFTV is rolling. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to CP. Shout out to JD. Shout out to all the mods. Shout out to producer Daniel. Shout out to producer Gamba. Shout out to producer Tyler. Shout out to everybody who's helped today. Shout out to you, Jeff. Great show as always. And look, guys, if you can't tune into these shows live, you know what to do. You make sure to download on any audio listening platform. We're on Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. But if you are here, if you are tapped in, make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to share the links. Make sure to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their family member to tell their pets, so that way they tap in and help grow this channel. All right, because that's what we need all you to do out there. And make sure to support KnicksFanTV.com. We got a bunch of great writers over there who are putting in that work. All right, salute to all of them as well. And yeah. We'll be back again later this week for when the Knicks face the Celtics. So appreciate all of you. We'll catch you later. We out.